So here's a question that's come in from Juan Guilmar Baldoni. Your book titles, like Never Let Me Go, are both simple, profound, and aesthetically beautiful, reminiscent of old popular jazz singles. Could you elaborate on your approach to selecting these titles? That's a good question.
Well, that's a very good question. And, well, I mean, this probably isn't acceptable, but look, I mean, for about 30 or 40 years, right, this is about the time I've been with Lorna, my wife. Okay, I'm not complaining about that. And all that time, one of the things that we've done is that we've collected titles. Yeah, I mean, the title for this volume. I mean, we collected so many. Yeah.
Has that been hanging around for some years, waiting for the right?
No. That one, you know, that's the title of one of the songs. I mean, that's a sensible thing to do in the end, you know. But we just, you know, if we're talking and we come across, we just say something that might be a good title, or actually all right. I'm sorry to admit this, but we actually have this thing where we open a book at random. It could be like a cookery book or anything, and you stick your finger. You mustn't look.
Okay.
And then you look to see what phrase you're pointing at. And you do this about 30 times, then you come up with about 5 titles.
I'm now thinking, was The Remains of the Day the soup of the day originally?
That's very good. I can't quite remember where The Remains of the Day came from, but I mean, so generally, I think titles have to have two functions. Good titles have to have serve a double function. I think they have to have a shop window function, right? So that, you know, the title, you think, oh, what a cool title. But the other function is that when the person is reading the book, watching the film, listening to the song, something falls into place. The title helps something focus and fall into place. A theme, perhaps, or an atmosphere or an emotion. Yeah. And so it's got to do both of those two things. It's quite difficult to get both things. One of the things I sometimes do is, you know, so you end up with this kind of list of great titles that don't have any works to go with them, right?
Is there a long list? Like, have we got a list?
Yeah. There's some great. I mean, there's some that I've been wanting to bring into use for 30 years.
Excellent.
Like the scene of a strange battle. That came about when we opened Vargas Llosa's the War of the End of the World, and went like this, and I said, "The scene of a strange battle." I thought that would be a great title. Or maybe you don't think so.
No, I do. I'm trying to imagine the book to go with it.
But I have to admit, sometimes I've got the title because it's a near match to a story or a book for which I don't have a title, and I think if I just tweak that scene a little bit, yeah, and just have one of my characters utter this line, then I could use this great title. But that title, "Never Let Me Go," is actually a stolen one, right? It's a famous song called, you know, it's like a jazz standard.
Yes.
But also, I think what's interesting about it is, and what struck me about it is that it's an impossible request. You know, you can ask someone to kind of hold on to you for a long time. You know, that's reasonable. But "Never Let Me Go" is impossible. Yeah, because something is going to part you. And so that's why I think it's such a powerful thing to ask for. Because you fully understand why somebody would ask for that and why somebody would want that, even as they understand that it's utterly impossible. Yeah. And yeah, all right, Stacey, you know, she needs this bit of hope. I mean, to work with. I like that. I often work in that little bit that you understand why human beings really want this thing, why they need it, why they ask each other or ask God or whatever. about it, but at the same time they understand that it's impossible. I often find that area a really powerful one to work in.
Yeah.